Alright, what's good YouTube? It's Max here, back with another YouTube video. If you're new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We just hit an absolute fucking banger trade. This trade, as you can see right here, made me $5,000 on my 5 topstep express accounts. I'll do this here. No LARP shit, no fake shit, none of that bullshit edited crap. Also, I'm currently trading 15 evals. I copy trade this across all of those. As you can see, we hit for around 1,500 on all of those accounts, basically making me $21,000 across my evals today. What sucks is I copy trade this on my one Lucid account on TradeC, as you can see right here. Here are the executions. We took our entry. On my evals, I closed a bit early. On my express accounts, I took it to the full London highs. Right, you can see right here that I copy traded on this account, which made me 1,500. But because I copy traded, there's some slippage, and my other accounts are like around like $100 less. So I have to basically go for $1,600 on my next trade to halfway past these accounts, which just kind of suck. Or I might have to farm like a small winning day to get these passed. But even then, this was a great trade today. This was an A+ setup. This is the best setup that I've seen in the past like 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm going to break it down, show you guys exactly why I took this trade, show you the confluences behind this trade, show you how the fuck I made $5,000 on my express accounts and $21,000 on my evals. I'm telling you, as soon as I get these motherfuckers passed, which is going to be in one more trade, so I'm going to wait for another guaranteed A+ setup. I'm going to be trading 20 fucking accounts, and I'm going to be recording and basically I live trade every single day on my Discord. I actually live traded this entire day and recorded it, but I fucking forgot to press record on my computer. I'm so stupid. I only recorded on my webcam. So like after I hit this trade, I was like, oh my god, I got the best video ever. I basically just live traded the whole day. And then I saw I only had it on my fucking camera. So alright, let's just get right into business. But just know I'm going to be dropping basically my live trades every single day. So make sure to go check those out. But basically, every single time I go into market open, I have to start with a bias, right? So let's go right here. We're gonna start on the daily time frame. Go over kind of what I was watching. So overall, the daily time frame is pretty chopped, but at the same time, right? You can see we came down, and like 2 days ago, we took out this major low right there. After taking out that major low, right? After taking out that low, price was extremely bullish. So yesterday, price was really bullish. I just wasn't able to take an entry into this explosive move to like these relative highs, but it doesn't really matter. So price was extremely bullish. Then overnight, we began chopping. I'll remove this. So going into market open, which was like right around here, we were kind of in the middle of two imbalances. You can see we have this bearish 4-hour gap right here that we're currently rejecting off of. And then we also have this unfilled 4-hour gap below. So overall, I was bullish into the day. But at the same time, just because I'm bullish doesn't mean I'm going to automatically take a long. What I wanted to see going into market open was price actually come down, tap into that 4-hour gap, then begin going higher. We can also see we had basically red folder news. Where is it? Right here at 5:30, leaving a data high. So basically into market open, which was right here, I wanted to see price right go lower, tap into that 4-hour gap, then get some type of continuation model out of it towards the upside, towards that data high, towards London highs and Asia highs. But we ended up not getting that, which is fine. So basically, right at market open, right, I'm kind of like short biased, but I'm overall bullish. So I want to see right price go lower, then go higher. However, right when market open, which was right here, right here, we can see right off rip, we just fucking exploded towards the upside. The first candle that printed for the day was dead ass like 50 points, and then after that we started going and going and going and going. So I was like, okay, never mind. If I stuck to my bias, I would literally watch price go all the way up and still say I have to wait for us to return to the 4-hour gap. That's stupid. That makes no sense. Price is obviously showing us it wants to go higher. So from this point, I was like, all right, how do I take a continuation trade towards the upside? And what can I target? So basically, target is easy. If I turn on this indicator right here, it shows me once again the kill zones. We can see basically that overnight what happened, right? Asia opens, we go lower, Asia lows put in, then Asia low gets swept out. London goes up, London goes down, sweeps out these lows again, leaving a London low. So what I'm seeing basically is that we have high resistance to the downside, meaning Asia low is taken and London low pre-market was just taken here. While we have a low resistance session highs, meaning we have a London high unswept and Asia high unswept. Plus we have this prominent high right here. So going into this explosive move off rip, I was like asking myself, okay, where is price most likely to go? And price most likely is going to London highs right here and Asia highs because both of them are unswept. And overall we have a bullish narrative being within, once again, this also being within this 4-hour gap, right? Also being within this 1-hour gap right here. We can also see while being within that 4-hour and 1-hour gap, we had an internal sweep. So we had a stop hunt within a high time frame gap. We had Asia highs, London highs above we could look to target, and we had an explosive move off rip, off open. So wonderful. I just want to see from this point a small retrace, then I'm gonna look to get in. So we can see price goes up at 630, right? Then we have this next candle here that forms that 5-minute gap. Then we aggressively come down, tap into that 5-minute gap. Now I'm looking for longs. From this point, I want to target this high right here. This would have been even better if this was a low resistance high. This high, this internal high right before London is actually high resistance because you can see we ended up sweeping out multiple highs before putting in that one. But at the same time, I was still super confident in that being my partial drawn liquidity and London highs being my main drawn liquidity, just due to narrative. Then we can see, right, we formed that 5-minute gap, we retrace into it. From this point, now this is when I'm gonna get complicated with y'all, so I'm gonna go back in time like this to break it down. So price goes up, we come down, this candle right here taps into that 5-minute gap. Now from this point, I wanted to see an entry. But if you look, this is pretty tight price action. Like we're not really creating fair value gaps. So this candle actually after tapping into the gap, which was right here, this candle began displacing up, then wicking down, and this candle opens. And at the time, this candle was all the way up here like a full bullish candle looking like this, right? And even then, I said to myself, look, in that whole move down, we didn't form any bullish gaps. Bearish gaps. We could inverse. We had no inversion. Like we had low key a weird ass reaction into the 5-minute gap, discretionary. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit this out. Even if price wants to rip from here and go to London, it's fine. I'm cool letting this position go, just due to the fact that I didn't like that price action after tapping into that 5-minute gap. And then we can actually see that setup failed. We then go lower. What do we have? We have a stop hunt right here. Now from this point, I want to see price go higher. But now we have to pay attention to time because currently at this point it's 6:44, or for my guys out there in New York, 9:44, meaning what? We have a new 15-minute candle printing in 1 minute. And usually what these 15-minute candles do is form PO3s where they manipulate lows and then go higher. So from this point, I basically want to see right here, a remanipulation of these lows on the open of that next 15-minute candle, then a CISD to the highs if we didn't form a 1-minute gap. We can see we actually formed a really small 1-minute gap right here we could use for inversion. And then if this indicator right here is high time frame or just power of 3 basically, and it shows you right here, I have it set to like the 15-minute candle, so it shows me every 15-minute candle that prints. So I'll go back in time like right here. You can see, right, this is like the current 15-minute candle we open, we put in that high, then we're kind of fucking around, this is where we close. Then we form that next 15-minute candle, which goes lower. So this next 15-minute candle here, right at 6:45, manipulates lower. What does it manipulate into? We actually manipulate into almost 50% of this gap. Also, we manipulate into equilibrium. Bang, just like that. We manipulate into 50% of what? That low after sweeping out that major low right there. So that high, we retrace the 50% and wick off of it. We have 3 stop hunts to the down, or 2 stop hunts to the downside. So we have high resistance to the downside. What do we have here? We have a low resistance towards the upside we can look to target. Bang, from this point, all I want to see is an inversion up. Live time, I'm basically saying, all right, I want to see this next candle go up and this next candle inverse. Then I'm going to take my trade. You can see this next candle goes up. Nice volume, but nothing too crazy. This makes that 15-minute candle once again a wick. Also at this point, ES actually, right, looking at ES, we dumped pretty heavily into that 5-minute gap. So at this current point, I wanted to see price go higher, but I wasn't sold until we saw a really good displacement. Also, we had like, if I can switch the colors real quick, we had this 1-minute gap here on ES that I also wanted to see break through before we can confidently say we're going higher. Because if you compare the two, right, like right here, market open, We can see obviously NQ is a lot like stronger than ES. ES went up and then fucking retraced all the way back down. NQ is more in that equilibrium range. So I wanted to see ES also get on board just due to the fact that we're dumping from this point. You can see right here. Next candle. Boom! That's what I want to fucking see. Look at that displacement, bruh. Look at displacement through the gap on ES and NQ. We have a CISD. We have an inversion. We left that internal high right there. Look at that 15-minute candle begin to form out of what that 5-minute gap. We have a break-even point right there. We have London highs right there. This shit looks so good. Bro, I'm telling you, I only risked $500 on these accounts for 2 to R, bro. Dude, I should have risked more, bro. I just placed the 5 minis and that John just automatically went up. But I should have low-key risked more on this trade, bro. It was just so fresh. I'll just wait for the next one. But yeah, this trade was so good. And then we go higher. No, fuck. Take it slower, my bad, boys. Yeah, so we go higher from this point. What do? We sweep out the internal. Now, mechanically, this is where you go break even, right? And then a lot of people got stopped out break even right here. The reason I didn't go break even is because all of the fucking confluences to this trade, the displacement we had seen, the displacement was so strong that I knew most likely we were going to hit that internal high, maybe fuck around for a minute. But overall, the narrative was so strong. Also, we had that high right there, right before London, we could go break even out. So knowing that fact, right, I was cool waiting for that internal high to go break even. I remember in the current moment, we went up, started going down, and I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, listen, I'm confident in this shit. I accept the risk. If we want to hit my stop loss, so be it. I fucking love this trade. That's basically what I said in my live trading. I was like, listen, we took out the internal. If you want to stop us out now, it's fine. I accept the risk. I really like this trade. I think we're going higher. Even if it wants to take me out for a loss, I accept the risk. And that's the most important thing. Like, accepting the risk in your trades, being confident in your drawn liquidities, being confident in what you're trading. And just based on the 5-minute gap, the 15-minute PO3, the high resistance at the lows, London highs being unswept, Asia highs being unswept, us being in a 4-hour, us being in a 1 hour, I was so confident in this trade. So yeah, then we start going higher, we fuck around for a minute. And then this candle right here, I remember I didn't go break even right here. Then this next candle forms, taking us higher, sweeping out another internal high. Right after this candle formed right there, that's when I went break even, actually before my break even point. Just because I said to myself, from this point, if we're going to go back down here, low-key, we're going to run the lows. So I was like, I really don't think we're going to go down and then go high. That wouldn't really make sense. Like, realistically, we should just go higher from this point. You feel me? If price really wants to deliver. And if price was to go down, like, and sweep out that low right there, we'd probably have a choppy delivery in the first place, which is just going to spike my cortisol. I don't even want to be in that shit. I'd rather take my fucking break even. But yeah, so right here, right, we went break even. And then we can just see a next candle. Doesn't do shit. Next candle. Bang! Just like that. Then I was confident as fuck. One thing to note is that we are approaching 7 a.m. right here, so it opens in 3 minutes. And we're about to approach 7 a.m. and we do actively have LR to the downside. So I was like, all right, basically from this point we need to deliver higher right now because if 7 a.m. opens, we could manipulate the lows before distributing. And then boom, like this. And after this point, I was like, all right, so what is 7 a.m. going to do? Or 10 a.m. for my guys in New York? Most likely from this point, 7 a.m. is going to distribute and then it'll manipulate if we're whatever bearish on the day or bullish. And then we can see 7 a.m. just opens. And boom, takes our fucking TP just like that. So that was a trade. I'll go over kind of what happened after this. So from this point, we can see we start chopping around. Right, what did 7 a.m. do? 7 a.m. actually actively manipulated London high, so that's good. And then we actually got a 5-minute inversion. Right here, this was a really good trade, really nice displacement down. You could have targeted the unfilled 15-minute gap right there. Bang, like that. Also, you could target the unfilled 4, but this was a really nice trade also. 5-minute, you could have gone like this for like a nice 101 risk to reward. Oops. This was also a really nice trade, like that. Bang, would have hit TP, super easy. Or you could have targeted there with stop loss break even at the unmitigated 15, but it'd probably be best to just sell at the unmitigated 15. So that was also a really good trade for the day. So far I would say this is not as good as a trade, but it's still a good trade. This was the trade of the day for sure. And then price fucks around. Right here. I also saw another trade right here. So basically from this point, right, Price forms what, a 15-minute gap. We have an internal high within that 15-minute gap, and we also edged the unmitigated 4-hour. We also put in a failure swing right here on NQ, meaning we failed to take out that low, meaning there's low risk in liquidity. We can also see in this move higher, what do? We form LR. Price goes up, taps into that 15-minute once again, taps into that unmitigated 5, sweeping out internal within that 15. From this point, we get a beautiful 2-minute inversion towards the downside. You can see we had a nice inversion right there. Bearish right there. Could have taken this down to the unmitigated 4, right? Targeting all that LR, targeting that failure swing. We did put a SMT at that failure swing, but even then, we edge is drawn liquidity, so there's high probability that SMT is going to fail. And then you probably go like break even right on that candle. And then this would have ran full TP. Also, there was a 5-minute cont right here you could have taken if you missed out. The one thing I didn't like about this trade, though, is just like the 1-minute displacement already swept the internal, so you would have to take basically a lower time frame entry to take that. But yeah, overall W fucking day. If you took this trade right here, if you took that 5-minute inversion, if you took this trade right here, if you took that 5-minute cont, every trade was valid. This price action was fucking amazing. Holy shit. This price action was so good today. I'm fucking praying price action is like this going into the rest of the month, because if it is, we're gonna fucking print, boys. So once again, if you're new here, join my Discord. I got live trading basically every single day. We got new members joining right now. Live trading right here in the chat. Once again, more videos on my YouTube, more daily balance can be posted. My trades are going to be posted here. You can see my confluences for the day, etc., etc. Tap the fuck in, boys. Let's run this shit up. 2026 is our fucking year. I don't give a fuck how 2026 started. We're finishing fucking strong, and we finna make bands. Let's get it. Catch y'all, boys.